I don't really get writer's block. I don't know if that's good. Maybe I should. I'm somebody who just, my mind is just gone all the time. It doesn't look that way, I know. But I am just, when I'm writing something, I just think about it constantly. I go to sleep thinking about it, and I wake up thinking about it, and it's just, I'm not bragging, it's just something that happens to me, and I sort of can't control it. That's kind of weird. What happened with this book, which was different from anything else I've done, is that I started it years ago, and then I stopped for some years while I was writing other stuff. And I would, from time to time, go back and look at it and look at the first 100 pages and think, oh yeah, this is really good. Yeah. And then I'd go do something else. And then I finally came back to it and I thought, yeah, I need to do something here because this could be great. And that was sort of, that period marked the shift from it just being a monster movie retelling to being a monster movie retelling with extra stuff pulled in. Not extra, I don't think, but with surrounding kind of contextual stuff pulled in. And to me, that's when it got much more interesting. And but that happening that way, I wasn't blocked so much as I was kind of the opposite. I was wondering if I was just sprawling. I did second guess myself pretty frequently about the proportion of how much of this versus that. Can I take this sort of conversation between these two nothing characters, and can I run with it for 10 pages, or am I really losing the thread here? Or is this the thread? I mean, is this the whole point? I was going on digressions. Somebody would just be walking down the street, and then I'd have a 2-page parenthetical digression about, you know, what this guy's grandkids were going to be doing 40 years from now. And, you know, I was just all over the map. And it was really fun. It was just pretty much unedited stuff. And I had to sort of pull that back and shape it and think, okay, you know, I want some of this and some of this, but mostly I want this, and I want to be moving in that direction. And paying attention to that kind of structural stuff was new for me, because usually I figure the structure out or whatever, and I just go. Oh, I have no idea. Am I allowed to say that? You know, what the hell is going on? Well, one thing, okay, you can take that last bit out. You know, this isn't ever anything that I think about consciously, because then you're just writing a term paper instead of a book. But one thing that I do notice coming up pretty frequently, and this is very important in the new book too, is the telling of stories, and how the telling of stories shapes our understanding of history, reality, what's happening now, what used to happen. I'll tell you, I first noticed this at the end of The Preservationist, which is the book about Noah's Ark, where there's sort of a key moment at the end where this one character wonders about how this story that they've just lived through is going to be remembered, and how it's going to be told, and how it's going to change over time, and so on. I had no idea that that was going to come out when I was writing it, but suddenly there it was. And maybe that's something that crops up in various ways, partly because my first 3 books were all retellings of very well-known stories from the Bible, and the new book is a retelling of a well-known type of story. So I guess something that does recur over and over is how things change and how they get reinterpreted and to whose benefit. That happens a lot in this new book, because there's sort of a play. There's a skit that retells what happened earlier, and there's a newspaper article, and there's an oral tale that gets told a couple of different times, and it's different. And maybe that's amplifying stuff that's been there. I don't know.